Welcome back everyone, and welcome to this video, which I'm very excited about because it talks about case studies, testimonials, and content that sells. A lot of you know that this is very important to me. Why? Because I love case studies and I love testimonials. They've done incredibly well for me in my business over the years, and I'm surprised that more people don't use them to their advantage in order to sell something they've already created. Whether you have a webinar or not, you should be putting this content out to begin with. But a lot of people don't realize that this same content is what can bring people back to your webinar to buy. So let's keep this in mind, okay? It's going to keep this short and sweet to the point. You could set up 7, 14, 21, and 28 day custom audiences from people who didn't register for your webinar, because you've been running this webinar over and over and over, whether it's evergreen or not, and you can show them different ads every week. So the 7-day audience sees one case study, the 14-day sees another, the 21-day sees another, the 28 sees another. By doing this, you've created this ripple effect of people seeing the new results, the new successes you've had week over week over week for over a month. By the time that happens, they can't say anything to you as to whether or not this is a effective promotion you're putting together, a product that works, so on and so forth. They can't come after you and saying that you're not a legitimate business owner. You have the proof, you have the knowledge, and you're showcasing it week over week. Same thing with creating carousel ads. You can give them options of either multiple evergreen topics, it could be multiple posts, it could be literally multiple presentations, multiple testimonials, case studies, you name it, all pointing to different places, and they all have a call to action to get to your webinar. Now, if you're someone like me who might have 3 different variations of a webinar, you can have a carousel ad with 3 different links to 3 different webinars, or even just a multi-day sequence, day 1, day 2, day 3, right? So you can see where this can really work in your favor and do exponentially well for your webinar, because you want people to go and see that presentation. And lastly, those non-purchase registrants, right? These are people who've already registered, but they haven't bought. Send them to a sales page of your offer. We talked about the mini VSL. We talked about the replay VSL hybrid, and you can run a 72-hour promotion with, let's say, a case study ad or a testimonial ad. You know, be like my testimonials, be like my case studies. You give them 72 hours to make a decision. You make this a specific webinar campaign. You provide a coupon code. Maybe it's 50% off, 25% off, and you run that ad for 3 days. Lifetime budget, highly guarantee that it'll do better than a daily. Set a lifetime budget, 72-hour promo to those people who registered but didn't buy. Send them to the replay page, or you can even send them straight to the cart so that they don't have anywhere else to go. You've been hammering them with ads for a while. These are people who obviously registered and have seen your stuff. You can send them straight to the cart with that code, and it should bring in some sales. So let's be honest, guys. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated. You create content like this, pointing people to the people who've already registered. They've seen your content. They've seen the webinar ads, the replay ads, the frequently asked questions, the common objections, and you've been giving them all different angles for a month. That last point I made about case studies, testimonials, and content that sells, that last piece is the selling. That last piece gets them to make a decision. And over a month, if you've been running promotions all month and they still haven't bought, that 72-hour sale is what will get them to close the deal. And if they don't take the deal, you leave them out. Right? You can exclude people beyond that 31-day mark. Anyone in days 31 and beyond, they don't need to see your webinar ads anymore because they're already past it. And so this is what I would create in your webinar sequence in order to be super effective, and quite honestly, it can allow you to sell repeatedly month after month if you put a sequence like this in place. We've talked about the direct to webinar, we've talked about the replays, we've talked about the live room, we talked about common objections, frequently asked questions, the sales page, the add to cart. You can have every piece taken care of, run that 72-hour promo, and you seal the deal. And that is how you can create content that sells using your case studies and your testimonials, so on and so forth, and really get your webinar to convert.